Hi, so yes, I am wearing and in the same place that I was last time. So once again, family wall, same hair, same sweater. It's not because I'm disgusting and don't shower, it's because I'm recording this on the exact same day, but I'm going to post this one later. I have a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of projects in college, and I need to focus on those. But I'm going to talk about the first time that I had met one of the main spirits that I talked to. I know that sounds weird and crazy and that you think I might have schizophrenia. I don't have schizophrenia. I think I'm saying that wrong and I'm sorry. But I don't know how to say things. I'm really bad. I mean, I don't know how to pronounce anything correctly. But basically, what had happened was I was in my upstairs bedroom in my childhood home that I'm still in. I'm a teenager. And I left my room to get a drink really late at night because what kid that just got a laptop at the age of 12 is ever just gonna go to bed at the correct time? So I was still up. I decided that I wanted to either get something to eat or get a drink. So I left my room. When I walked out, I see a figure. Now, a name pops into my head. I did just try to record this video, and he basically kind of told me that he wanted me to use a different name, so I am not going to use his name. I'm going to kind of change it, I guess. You know what, I'll use a originals name, the show originals. I'll use Marcellus. Okay, so Marcellus would pop into my head in big, bold, black letters every time that I saw him. So when I left my room, the first time that I'd seen him, he was a big, dark shadow, looked about in his mid-20s, and the light was, of course, off. But then when I turned it on, he was gone. I turned it off, he was there. I turned it on, he was gone. I turned it off, he was there. When I turned it on, of course, he was gone. And the last time that I turned it off, he was gone. Now me, being very tired, I walked into the kitchen, got my snacks, and went back to my room because I didn't know a lot about spirits. I just knew that you don't need to make a big deal out of them. I was very young. I didn't know a lot. All I knew was that just kind of treat them like normal humans because they are humans. They're just in a different realm. So that is exactly what I did. I basically kind of left him alone. He did not leave me alone. I'm not sure which one of these came first, and I'm not sure this corresponds with who Marcellus is. But what I do know is another experience that happened when I was still living upstairs was, because I now live downstairs, which is even more haunted, so it's a great decision on my part, but so when I was when I was in my bedroom, all of a sudden I heard a clicking noise. Slowly clicking until I look at where it's coming from, because I don't have a clock in my room, so I can hear it coming from behind me. Now, weird enough, the back of my bed kind of faces where the door is. So the door would be here and my bed would be here. It's very weird, but that's how I had it. Now, when I looked at the door, all of a sudden I could see that it was slowly turning. And then it chings for it to be opened. And then it starts opening, and it opens till about like a foot. And I go over there and I try and push it and it won't close. And so I slam it and I start saying, hello, hello, who's there, who's there, who's there? Because if it was one of my family members, they would be like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. Just like your light was on, I just wanted to make sure you were okay. Nobody did that. I looked underneath my door, there was no feet, nothing there. Of course, that can't be the wind. My window is there and all the windows in the house are closed and locked, and we don't really ever open them because they're gross. So we don't touch them. So that was just one of the weird experiences, and so I became scared. I had like shut my door and I had locked it, Thank God I had a lock on my door. I don't know what I would have done without it, because like I could feel something still. Because you know when, even though when the door is closing, you can feel someone like pushing it, and it's kind of like moving the door in between where the stop is, and just like that little space of room, how you kind of push it and it makes like a little banging noise. That was still happening. That little banging noise. And I was terrified, so I locked my door and I sat down. I grabbed my laptop and I sat down with my laptop on my knees, just holding the door closed because I was terrified. Now, if you think that it could have been a burglar, why wasn't there any feet? If the burglar had ran away, then why was there still a pushing? And even then, what burglar is going to come out where I live? I am in the middle of nowhere. Like, you look all around here, it is all just basically desert. It's far the fuck away, as I like to say it. So, I don't think it would be. We have yet to be robbed. I mean, of course, that could still happen, which I am terrified, and I do not want that to happen. And I've started to lock the doors more because I am scared of that. So I sat there up against my door as it was kind of pushing on my back, but I didn't want to move, just in case it was a burglar or a kidnapper or whatever. I just stayed there with my laptop, trying to like drown out the noise and trying to calm myself down. And at which point I felt something jab at my butt. Now that sounds weird, but I literally felt like somebody had taken a stick. Surprisingly enough, I had a stick that I use for presenting in classes on the table. I'm pointing to the actual table because it's right there. But it was sitting on the kitchen table for me to present. I think that next day I was presenting sometime around there in class. And so I had my pointer stick ready. And at which point, I felt someone poke at my butt, and my butt wasn't like up against the door. Like, of course, like when you're sitting like huddled like this, your back is on the door, but your butt is not. So it's not like somebody could have poked my butt with their finger. It's not like one of my siblings, like my sister or my mom or the roommate at the time would have done that, because they all know how terrified I get at night. Now you could think, oh, well, that's a funny joke. But I know what each of my family members sound like when they snore, so then I know who's awake, which sounds really stupid. But my sister, she has a very like low sounding, kind of just like a heavy breathing, with like a slight little bit of snoring, but it's not bad. Now the roommate at the time and my mom, they both snored very loud. My mom was of course louder, but they would always, like, they slept in the same room at the time because we were getting his room ready, which sounds really weird, but I promise it's not. But yeah, so we were, figuring out a room for him and where he was gonna sleep. But yeah, they were both in that room, and I don't think my mom would have allowed him to come and make fun of me or whatever, and plus my mom would have woken her ass up. And my sister Amanda, she has a bedroom right next to me. I could hear her. She was still asleep. Couldn't have been any of my family members. And the next morning, absolutely scared to death, I don't think I slept that night, but I did go back into my bed. But after that, because the poking, and then I looked under again and nothing was there. But my sister had, after my sister, my mom, and the roommate had woken up, I had talked to them that next morning, and I had asked them, did any of you guys try to get into my room last night? Because I know sometimes my mom wants to come turn off my light. So I'd asked my mom, did you try and come turn off my light? She's like, no, I fell asleep. Fell asleep real early. Same thing with Tim, or the roommate. He was exhausted. My sister, she was also exhausted, so of course she was asleep too, and they all said, like, no, we were not awake. We were all dead asleep. We were tired. And I've asked them again recently, and all of them said Nope. I remember that day, and I did not go to your room that day. So, fun times, am I right? I may record another one today. So if you see this again, that's why. Because I'm just trying to record quite a couple of videos so that I can just start posting them. So, bye guys.